thank you once again for joining me as we discuss lesson number 11. I've noticed that as the weeks go by, the lessons have been getting better and better, and this lesson is just amazing. The seal of God and the mark of the beast. A seal or a mark is used to identify the property of someone. So the lesson this week actually tells us that there's two groups, one with the seal of God and one with the mark of the beast. There's only two groups in which the whole world will be divided into. Something interesting to note, no one sits on the fence. Why is it important for me to know the difference between the two groups? Well, the main Bible verse for this week, Revelation chapter 7, verses 2 and 3, and it actually gives us the answer. Listen to what it says. Then I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was granted to harm the earth and the sea, saying, do not harm the earth, the sea, or the trees, until we have sealed the servants of our God on their foreheads. Why is it important for me to know the difference between these two groups? Because those that receive the seal of God will be protected, and those that receive the mark of the beast will be destroyed. So who receives the seal of God? Revelations chapter 14, verses 4. Those that receive the seal of God follow the Lamb wherever he goes. Who is the Lamb? Remember when John the Baptist, and when he saw Jesus, he exclaimed, behold the Lamb of God, who takes away the sins of the world. So the ones that receive the seal of God are those that follow Jesus wherever he goes. How do you follow Jesus? Once again, let's open our Bibles and let's go to Revelations 14, chapter 14, verses 12. And this is what it says. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. Those that receive the seal of God, Revelation calls them the saints. They have three attributes. They have patience. They keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. The word keep means to guard, to preserve, to be faithful, to retain, to remain in it. The saints are faithful to the law of God. What is the law of God? What are the commandments that the saints keep? Exodus chapter 20 says, and God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which has brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. That's number one. Number two, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers unto the children, unto the third and fourth generation of those that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Number three, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Number four, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you should labor and do all thy work, but on the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it thou shalt not do any work, you, your son, your daughter, the manservant, the maidservant, not thy cattle, nor the stranger that is within your gates. Why? Because in 6 days the Lord made heavens and earth and the sea and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Number 5, honor your father and your mother, that the days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God gives you. 6, thou shalt not kill. 7, thou shalt not commit adultery. 8, thou shalt not steal. 9, thou shalt not bear false witness against your neighbor. And 10, you shall not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is your neighbor's. Those that follow the Lamb wherever he goes, keep all his commandments. But it told us in Revelation 14:12 that they have patience. Why would they need patience? Well, one of the main reasons they would need patience is because the whole world is teaching and preaching that the 10 commandments of God were nailed to the cross. It's easy to follow the crowd. It's easy to do what the majority does. But you actually need perseverance and patience in order to keep the commandments of God. But I know some of our friends are going to say, but we are saved by grace. And they are absolutely right. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 to 10. Listen to what it says. For by grace are you saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is a gift of God. And number 10, verse 10, for we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus unto good works. I like what James says. Even so, faith, if it has no works, is dead. You know, I can say I have faith and that I am a Christian, but you cannot see my faith. I cannot take my faith and put it on the table and say, here's my faith. Look, touch it, handle it. But you can actually see my faith by my works. You expect me, if I have the name of Christian, to live like Christ. And Christ gave me left me his example to follow the will of God and keep the commandments of God. Let's go to Matthew chapter 27. What is the faith of Jesus? And it says, when the morning was come, all the chief priests and elders of the people took counsel against Jesus to put him to death. The chief priests and the elders gathered together to plan the death of Christ. And when they had bound him, they led him away, delivered him to Pontius Pilate, the governor. A church unites with a civil power to kill Christ. And then Judas, which had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders, saying, I have seen in that I have betrayed the innocent blood. And they say to him, what is that to us? That's your problem. And he cast down the pieces of silver in the temple and departed and went and hung himself. Religion had become a business. Now at that feast, the governor would release unto the people a prisoner. And they had a notable prisoner called Barabbas. Therefore, when they gathered together, Pilate said unto them, whom will you that I release unto you? Barabbas or Jesus, which is called Christ? For he knew that for envy they had delivered him. The civil power allies with the church in order to accuse an innocent man. But the chief priests and elders persuaded the multitude that they should ask Barabbas and destroy Jesus. Religious leaders back then and today have a very powerful influence on the people. They can move them against God, or they can bring them to God. And the governor said, "What evil has he done?" But they cried the more, saying, "Let him be crucified." Church leaders can influence their church members to crucify an innocent man. It was done back then, and history will repeat itself. Verse 27, "Then the soldiers of the governor took Jesus into the common hall and gathered unto him the whole band of soldiers. And they stripped him of his clothes and put on a scarlet robe. And when they had plaited a crown of thorns, they put it upon his head and a reed on his right hand. And they bowed down before him and mocked him, saying, 'Hail, King of the Jews!' And they spit upon him and took the reed and hit him on the head. And after they had mocked him, they took the robe off him and put his own clothes on him and led him away to be crucified." The faith of Jesus is that he was obedient to his Father. He was obedient unto death. Why do the saints need patience? Because their obedience will eventually lead them to death. By whom? By their Christian brothers and sisters that are led by the priests and the elders of the Christian faith. Revelation chapter 30. Who follows the beast and who gets the mark of the beast? "And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns." Listen to this. "And the dragon gave him his power, his seat, and great authority." The devil works through the beast of Revelation 13. "And I saw one of his heads as if it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wonder after the beast." How many follow the beast? All the world wonders after this beast, and they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. Those that follow the beast and receive his mark are actually worshiping the dragon, are actually worshiping the devil. And they worship the beast, saying, "Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?" This church is a powerful church. Everybody trembles before her. "And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies." Lucius Ferraris wrote Papa Article 2 in his Prompta Bibliotheca 1763, volume 6, page 25 to 29. Listen to what he says. "The Pope is of so great dignity and so exalted that he is not a mere man. He is, as it were, God on earth." Pope Leo XIII boasted, "We, the popes, hold upon this earth the place of God Almighty." The great encyclical letters of Pope Leo XIII in New York, published in New York, written by Benzinger in 1903, page 193. But don't take my word for it. Do your own research. "And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations." This beast has control over the whole wide world. There's not one nation. There's not one tongue. There's not one people that is not under her control. and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the earth. Those that received the mark of the beast, their names are not in the book of the Lamb. Chapter continues. Verse 11 says, and I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb. The second beast comes from the earth. It looks like a lamb, which means it's a Christian nation. Although it looks like a lamb, it actually speaks like a dragon. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him. And he causes the earth to worship the first beast. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark on their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is the wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 666. Revelation 13 tells us that there's 2 main players at the end. Very soon, in the whole world, there will be only 2 main players: a church and a civil power. The religion of the old world will be set up in the new world, and that's what we called the New World Order. What happened in the old world will happen in the new world. The Bible tells us the Church of Europe will unite with the United States of America, the greatest power on earth, the greatest Protestant nation in the world. They will unite to form an ungodly alliance. And the purpose of this alliance to force the world to worship the beast, the mother church, the Church of Europe. And whoever refuses to worship will not be able to buy or sell. And eventually they will experience death, just like Jesus was crucified under the plan and order of the church, who united with the civil power to kill him. Those that have the seal of God keep all the 10 commandments because they follow the Lamb wherever he goes. Those that have the mark of the beast worship the dragon, the devil, Lucifer, the fallen archangel, when they worship the beast. But I guess the choice is up to you and up to me. Are we going to be identified with the Lamb or with the beast? Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.